You ever notice that the majority of like the peak athletes all share like this like distinctive like characteristic like on their faces? It's like primal almost
It's
like.
not necessarily wrong. We analyzed the examples people gave in his comment section, and it seems that they're picking up on three specific features when they say athletes look primal: high facial width, high craniofacial and craniocervical muscularity, and high facial robusticity, especially a heavy brow ridge. And maybe you can see what he means by this particular caveman look. But is this cherry picking? Do elite athletes actually have these traits more? And if so, why? First, he is probably right about facial width. Genial and colleagues found that men with wider faces are more threatening and aggressive, and facial width has been linked with athletic success by Sato and colleagues. With craniofacial and craniocervical muscularity is also probably right. Athletes generally will have better genetics for higher baseline muscularity, which would not exclude the face and neck, and while the craniofacial cervical musculature may or may not be trained directly, the constant bracing involved with elite athletes makes it likely that their face and neck tissue would be, well, more developed. With facial robusticity, it's harder to say. It may depend on the sport in particular. Calabiska and colleagues' research suggests that athletes in some sports, like wrestling, have higher bone mineral density, so it's somewhat plausible that strength, loading, and impact could cause more robust facial development in some sports. But we think if athletes actually have more robust faces, it's more likely due to selection effects. For instance, anthropologists like Carrier and Morgan hypothesize that male facial robusticity evolved as a protective architecture. If true, males with faces that will have better defensive structures would be less likely to be injured in sports and therefore less likely to quit, and therefore more represented at the top. Realistically, which of these two men are more likely to get hurt by a collision on the pitch? Someone with a face like Norwegian footballer Erling Haaland, or an American model like Alton Mason. Now, plenty of elite athletes do lack these features, but if we're going to be generous with our fact check, we'll say that the original poster is picking up on a real phenomenon. If you want us to analyze your face, including the traits that we've mentioned here, click the link in bio at Koos.com.